This is a steam brake cylinder from a Sentinel steam wagon. That's a little bleed valve that I made last week. I've actually got the whole assemblies here now to try and sort the cylinders out. The way it works, that piston goes into there. I've got an end cap to make for there to guide that. In fact, I've got two to make, 2 cylinder end caps. When the steam is applied, it pushes the piston that way. That pulls on the crosshead, which pulls 2 rods, which pulls the brake on. There's one of these on each side. So I've got 2 of those to make, and there's some various bits of rods and linkage to sort out as well. Someone's already had a go at making bits and pieces for it. Some of the work's good, some's not so good. So I'm going to try and get them all ready to bolt back onto the wagon. Basically to make it work. So the first thing is to make 2 end caps for here. They're just guides, there's no steam pressure and the steam's only on one side. Steam pushes this piston that way, which pulls rods. Anyway, I'm sure it'll become as clear as mud once we get involved in it. This is the first blank put in. I'm going to use that little button tool to machine it. As you can see, it's a mile off being through that way because it was cut on a really old bandsaw, which was still better than trying to cut it by hand. The first thing is to get one face square. This is decent quality aluminium, you can tell by the way this machine is very nice. Power feed on, I think. That's what it's for. Right, it's no good. I'll have to put the standard change wheels in the back of the lathe. That's why it's so noisy. It's got the transition gears in for cutting imperial threads, and they're bloody noisy. So we'll do that and we'll get back to the machining room. That's considerably quieter. I haven't got a drone for these, I've got a picture I can sort of make it up as I go along. I'll machine it out to this stage, then we can turn them round, put the felt outer on there, and there's a rebate to cut on, a shoulder to cut on so it fits into the cylinder, then a 1-inch hole to drill and ream through there. Just going to chamfer that edge there. I think I'll leave it that sort of distance to give it plenty of support. So I don't know, I've never seen the original item, so I'm not quite sure. But if I leave it that size, I can always make it thinner sometime in the future. Little chamfer on here. Putting the other jaws on to machine the other face. We'll get them both to that stage. put some copper packing pieces in just to protect the machined aluminium face. But be careful when we're machining that, we don't take any really heavy cuts. I don't want to put it in too tight. I don't want it coming out of the chuck. I don't think it will. It's strange, I think it'll happen to me. It's just the register that fits in the end of the cylinder. Keep things lined up. Things are running close, so you always check turning it by hand just to make sure you have got clearance. Piss off. That's a really good fit on there, it will go on. Just going to take the fanny's hair off it. Don't want it that tight. That's it. Need a 1-inch hole through here for the piston rod to fit into. And when we clean the lathe, we'll do the other one. Right, that's just the fit I want, not piss wobbly slack but not too tight. I've had a little bit of an issue with this piston, trying to get the piston into the bore of the brake cylinder. The piston's been nicely made, the rod's been nicely made as well. Now I've had the piston rings off, the rings are a good fit in the bore, the piston's an excellent fit in the bore, but they won't go in put together. So I measured the ring and I measured the depth of the ring groove. And the thickness of the ring was the same as the depth of the groove, so it had no clearance. So I've machined 10th thou side out of the groove, like maybe 20th thou deeper, and now it goes together quite nicely. These are a strange looking piston ring. They're what they call a culprit ring. See the way they're designed, there's 2 rings in one basically. They use quite a lot on steam engines. So now we're going to try and get this ring on without breaking it, because they are very, very brittle. I should possibly turn the camera off when I'm doing this, but never mind, we'll see what happens. Right, so that's the ring successfully in without breaking it. I'll turn the piston over and put the other one in from that side, then I'm going to stretch it over the top of all that lot. When you put the pistons in, you always stagger the ring gaps. This one should be a lot easier because I've only got to go over that little part of the piston there. Right, so there you have it. And once again, the name of this culprit piston ring. So the cylinder's got a lovely taper machined in there, so the piston should just slide in. You do it in your ring compressor. Make sure the rings are all nice and free in their grooves. Some oil. This is steam cylinder oil. Right, so this should just slip in quite nicely. Still tight, the bastard. I think that's still too tight. Certainly a good fit. Yeah, there's plenty of clearance on the rings there. It wouldn't go in like that. That's the guide we made for it. Yeah, that's fine, not. What I need to do is put a hole in the bottom of here, like a drain hole. Just if this gets any condensation in there and there's nowhere for it to go, it'll burst the cylinder. You can't compress water. Right, so I'm quite happy with that. I need to mark out these 3 holes, the 3 retaining bolt holes. Transfer punch should do a perfectly adequate job for them. And these are 5/16 BSF, I believe. Right, so it's marked those quite nicely. Right, I've lined the first hole up by eye. I'm going to put a piece of scrap under there because I don't want the drill going through and marking my table. You can get very accurate doing this. Certainly accurate enough for what the job has to do. I did mark this flange before I drilled the holes because it'll only go on one way. I know for a fact there's nothing ever the same on this sort of gear, it's always one off. So I put little pop marks on there, little pop marks on that one. So that should go like that. And it won't fit any other way, so that's splendid. A little drop of oil in there won't do any harm at all. And that's the drain hole there, just in case it gets any condensation in it, and that's obviously at the bottom. Studs and nuts are always better than just bolts put in. Unfortunately, supplied these horrible zinc plated nuts. They should be black, so they look authentic, but nobody will see them. But I'll know they're there. Anyway. Tight at this end because the cylinder's probably worn. It'll have done most of its work down at that end down there. But it is what it is. In fact, this is a brand new cylinder. Oh, the old stock. Right, so that's one brake cylinder together, ready to work. Oh. Put it all together exactly the same. And then have a look at the linkage, see what I can do with that. This is the original piston. It appears to be in a casting, but it's actually hollowed out in there to save weight, possibly moving weight, not sure. Anyway, I put plenty of oil on, and that should slip into there quite nicely, which it does. It's a lot freer than the other one because the old rings, and there's only 2 rings on that one. It's had a broken ring at some time. Not the end of the world, but right, so the same thing again. We'll mark all these, drill them, make the studs, get this one ready to go together. Once again, it's just time to say thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything and it does make a massive difference. Anyway, thanks for watching.